Losing time, I'm fading fast. I just wanna make it last. Try to let go of the past. I close my eyes, embrace the blast. Sleepless nights and headaches stack. Restlessness to hell and back. What's my purpose? What do I grab? A slippery surface, a heart attack. And sometimes you just gotta believe there's something that'll give you relief. There's something that'll have what you need. What you need. We're broken, it's tragic. We're not all elastic, but maybe there's magic. Believe you could have it. And I know of sadness, the anxious and panic, the infinite vastness of all that is blackness.
Hey guys, how you going? Oh my goodness. Okay, let's go through this chat. Hey John Paul, how you going? Shannon, how you going? Menacing Muskrat, Luna, Deb, Simone, Susie. Who else have we got in here? I think that's it. Oh, King Snurgle, how you going? Who else have we got? Alex, how you going? I think I've said hello to everyone so far. We'll keep going down just to make sure. And Deb, you've been a member for 9 months. Thank you, guys. Thank you to all my members. I really appreciate that, guys. Carl, how you going? We have Liftoff. Sherry, how you going? Dana, how you going? Who else have we got in here? Okay, that's it for now. I want to just say, if anyone does donate to Streamlabs, please wait a few minutes, even if it tells you it didn't go through, because that's what happened with Timmy last time. Poor Timmy. I hope he got his money back. I did refund it, but I'm not 100% sure that... I think he has got it, but I just want to make sure, actually. So if anyone does donate to Streamlabs, please wait a few minutes before trying again, because yeah, that was, I felt so sorry for Timmy, but he did get his money back. Okay, I think I've covered all that. Is there anything else I have to say before we start? I'm a bit sick, guys. Danny, member for 7 months. Oh my goodness. God love you guys. And Dana, big hello from down under, Alex. Deb, how you going? There's 2 Debs in there today. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to go over a little bit of news. I'm getting the flu. It's getting a little bit worse, but it's not bad, so, you know. Okay. Dr. Anastasia Maria Lupus, or Loopy? Oh, I don't want to say loopy, it sounds loopy. Okay. Best news ever, Elon Musk. Misgendering is not hate speech, it's stating a biological fact. Twitter removed the woke policy against misgendering and dead naming transgender people. That's a good start as well. Take your wins where you can get them. Andy Knows said Windsor Police in Ontario, Canada are seeking one of those people, transformer people, who allegedly assaulted a woman at a woman's shelter. Women's shelters are there for women escaping violence from mostly men. Although women do it to each other, you know, men do it to each other and women do it to men. But these women's shelters are there for their safety. Cody D. Entremont, also known as Desiree Anderson, is described by police as she, her, and former resident of the women's shelter. Explain that. Someone explain that to. Make it make sense. So, okay, any man who wants to go to a women's shelter to find his ex-missus can just say, I'm a woman now, and be put in the same shelter? I don't know. Oh, thank you, Luna. Oh, you've become a member. God love you. Andy No said, Windsor Police... No. Oh, yeah, I've read that. Just read that. Huh. My mind's not with it. I'm a bit fuzzy-headed because of this cold. Miss S 2022 said federal MP Linda Burney applies for an apprehended violence order against a social media user to protect her reputation. Someone said a bad word. Oh dear, she wants an AVO now. Oh my goodness. Against social user Mackenzie Raymond. It shouldn't matter what they say. You don't need to get an AVO. It's an apprehended violence order. Evie Magazine said you don't owe a guy relations just because he bought you dinner. And I agree with this. Getting access to your body should require more of a guy than paying for a plate of pasta or even a nice dinner. Seriously, women have the power in this to stop this from happening, to stop society getting worse for women. That's all I can say. The opinionated black woman, wants the right to bear arms now. Okay, this is an Australian lady. So do I. Chicky Leaks said, what should the public do when the judiciary are totally captured and the citizens can't bring a case against the government who have unlimited funds to hide their crimes? Taxpayer funds, mind you. Dystopian Down Under said, breaking High Court turns its back on Australian babies in an unprecedented decision. The Australian babies case was brought to the High Court to stop the greatest iatrogenic catastrophe in Australia's modern history. Yeah, exactly. And then the opinionated black woman said, I want the right to bear arms. We have an absolutely out of control government. Who doesn't at the moment? Oh my goodness. Liz Churchill said Epstein Island frequent flyer Bill Gates, who's also posing as our unelected world health leader, has spent $80 million plus to teach 10-year-old children to become sex workers, while stating children are sexual from birth. Why isn't this effing creep in prison? I don't know. Who else thinks that Gates might be the first arrest? I don't know. I'm just thinking that it's looking that way, maybe. Oh no, maybe Biden. Biden and Hunter. And then Bill Gates. Hopefully. James Lindsay, No Solutions, said New York City is trying to control what people eat so it can combat climate change. Thank you, Deb. God love you. As a forced collective. Now, this is what I mean. It's been since way back 2010 or 11 that the UN wants everyone to be vegan. Okay? Tell me this is not what this is. Mayor Eric Adams said we're looking at every option on the menu to fight climate change in New York City. By making the switch to plant-powered food, we can begin to reduce our city's third largest source of emissions, which they're saying is meat. But we need New Yorkers to join us. Okay, let's see what they say here.
We're addressing for the first time the connection between our food system and our climate crisis.
It is easy to talk about emissions that are
good one, Twitter.
That are coming from vehicles and how it impacts our carbon footprint. It is easy to talk about the emissions that's coming from buildings, but we now have to talk about beef. The new integrated emission inventory we're unveiling today show that food is the third biggest source of cities' emissions. We already know that a plant-powered diet is better for your physical and mental health. I am living proof of that. But thanks to this new inventory with...
No, it's not. It'll give you brain fog and you'll get a lot of gas and you'll have problems, I'm telling you. You might be okay in the beginning being a vegan, but as the years go on, you're going to get sicker and sicker.
Finding out it is better for the planet. That's why today we're committed to reducing the city food emission by 33% by 2030 and challenging our private sector partners to reduce by 25% by 2030. Food has to look good, it has to taste good, and it has to be good for you. We are saying to New York...
Is that the portion you're getting? That tiny little thing? The tiny little bowl? That'll be the portions. Just enough to keep you alive.
Who are serious about this charge of cleaning up our environment.
I like how they show all the chemtrails during this one. Look at that. See all these things here? These are chemtrails. These lines, they're chemtrails.
We now have a new focus that must include food.
Get out of New York if you can. I don't know. Or just don't listen to them. James Lindsay said, imagine the city thinking it can pressure you into a plant-powered food. Communist scum. Believe me, that's what the UN wants everyone. So maybe he's going to pressure the companies and corporations to do it because they get an ESG score already. That's why they are doing like the Budweiser thing. That's why they're doing it, because they want the good ESG score. The public has to show them. It's not what the public wants. Hello, possums. Okay, now this person here, okay. This was Dame Edna Everage, okay, in Australia, Australian well-known, I don't even know what, wasn't trans person. He was a guy, but he played a woman on TV a lot. He's passed away. Barry Humphries, I think his name is. He has now passed away. He was one of Australia's first well-known, what would you call it? He was a comedian, but he dressed as a woman, Dame Edna Everage. Truce, I don't even know what to call these people anymore. Oh my goodness. Was he a drag queen? I think that's what he was. Not 100% sure on that anymore. Who knows? I don't even know what I'm supposed to call them anymore. True Science said, surprised that the media did not pick this up, or is it? You know that thing I've been talking about a lot, you're not allowed to really talk about? Well, whose scientist faces death penalty? India could be the first country to sue a WHO scientist for advising against this certain medication for the COOF. The Indian Bar Association has initiated proceedings where officials have lied and suppressed use of effective treatments. This is wholly inappropriate. And they did that so they could push the jabbies. Mary Jane is reformed. Not quite yet, but will be soon. People who call others cookers or conspiracy theorists are just advertising their own cerebral narcissism, cognitive laziness, and unwillingness to exercise critical thinking. Pity those people. Do, because you if you're here, then you've woken up. You're not one of these narcissistic, cognitive, lazy people. There you go. They're not using their grey matter. That's all. Craig Kelly said every record's been destroyed or falsified, every book rewritten, every picture has been repainted, every statue and street building has been renamed. Nothing exists except an endless present in which the Bureau of Meteorology data adjusters are always right. Because there's a climate change scandal heating up in Australia because they've been cooking their books, literally, raising temperatures so that it looks warmer. I know because I check the weather every day and it doesn't get to the temperatures they say it's going to get to, ever. Oh, it's actually cooler than they say a lot. Philip Seuss said Labour is delivering zero or negative real GDP per capita growth, the highest inflation in decades, sharply declining real wage growth, worst rental crisis on record, unaffordable housing, overloaded infrastructure, massive corporate profits. None of this is a surprise. How Labor built neoliberalism. Australia's Accord, the Labour movement, and the neoliberal project. Thatcher and Hawke. Sprida said French President Emmanuel Macron was stabbed in the forehead with an egg. Oh, it couldn't have happened to a nicer guy. Oh, my goodness. Oh, no. I hope he's all right. An egg? I don't know. Mags is crying. Edward said, sorry, no pedos allowed. Watch what happens here. He walks up the steps. They close the doors. Oh, dear. We just have to stand here and look like we belong, I suppose. What's going on there? Is that an island? Anyway, Dr. Russell McGregor said if you can answer why Rupert Murdoch refused to allow release of the Fauci files, then you might understand the Dominion settlement, because Fox just settled with Dominion. You know those machines? Yeah, I think they sued Fox for saying that... I don't know. I'm not 100% sure, but I think they might have sued Fox for saying that the machines were faulty or something. You know. Mindy said 9/11 was orchestrated by 3 entities, including the Saudis, who provided the people and the major cover story. Mossad, who provided the Israeli agents that got caught with a van full of explosives and an empty van full of explosive residue the day of, as well as were filming and laughing before the first plane hit, which is how they got caught. The dancing Israelis, anyone? Only to be handed back to Israel without a question. They have had access to the buildings for a whole month prior to using the fake company and rigged the 2 towers, building 7, to guarantee they'd fall. I'm going to go shortly, guys. Make sure you subscribe to my other channel, please. I don't even know if they'll probably take that one down. They know it's me. They know it's me. They've already struck that one. Just go to Rumble if you can. Building 7 was never hit by a plane. It was 2 buildings away from the tower and housed a lot of government's clandestine paperwork, like Kissinger's Safari Club and his global CIA money laundering enterprise. The CIA suppressed evidence, controlled the media to cover up holes in their story, like the pristine passports found on the ground. Like a building can blow up and they can just find those passports untouched on the ground. So they could hide the trillions the Pentagon lost the day before, push the unconstitutional Patriot Act to spy on Americans for blackmail, and so the military-industrial complex could start a war in the Middle East for profit and power with terrorists. The CIA actually trained by blaming bin Laden, who they also trained. They also want to destroy Iraq to install the Federal Reserve banking system there. I didn't believe 9/11 was an inside job either until I did my own research. Average Americans need to know about the atrocity Feds committed on the US. 3,000 dead, plus however many troops we lost fighting so the central banks and war pigs in DC could profit. It's why they didn't care how they pulled out of Afghanistan. They were setting up to start another contrived war in Ukraine to keep these forever wars going. Our government was behind 9/11 with the help of 2 supposed allies. They would have never gotten away with it if social media was more of a thing back then. We never get answers to the holes in the government stories about the Las Vegas shooting or Uvalde or any of them. They just try to medically genocide us with the jab and cover it up. 3,000 dead Americans to hide trillions of dollars and keep the war machine going is nothing to these monsters. Americans need to wake up to how evil our government is and actually do something about it. There you go. Avoiding the stigma of direct CIA involvement in covert operations. It was a method which Henry Kissinger had refined. The blessings of the CIA's George Bush turning a small Pakistan merchant bank into a worldwide money laundering. And the Israeli nationals that were seen taking pictures and filming the attacks while also celebrating the destruction of the towers and high-fiving each other. Mrs. Caucus says a court filing by the Guantanamo Military Commission reveals possible CIA involvement in violation of the US law in the 9/11 attacks. I don't think we need to know more than that. Well, we do, but I mean, I should read that thread, but I've got so much to get through. James O'Keefe said, can someone from the FDA please tell me what's going on here? US FDA. The monovalent Moderna and Pfizer jabs are no longer authorised for use in the United States. Did you know that? To clear up from confusion, bivalent jabs are authorised, but monovalent are not. Bivalent are designed to work against multiple variants, where monovalent is designed for just one. Wow. Quietly there, they remove. Oh, I think something's going to go soon. David Dixon said 2,849 deaths disappeared from the Canada data yesterday of the COOF. This is after a record spike in numbers, especially under 20. Up to yesterday, there were 16 reported under 20 in 2023 and only 2 in 2020. Now they've removed 29 of in that age group, but no indication of when those deaths were removed. So they want to make it look less than what it is. Okay, old soldier said, oh dear. And Jill said Albanese is a liar, a shyster and a con man. ABC and Ozpol, we have the receipts. Shame on you, Albo. What did he say? Let's have a listen. Oh, well, thank God you did it then. I might get the... Hang on, what's going on here? I can't even click on it. Okay. Sorry, having a bit of a hissy fit.
No, not that I'm aware of. That is the first I've heard of it.
Thank you very much, Mr Speaker. My question is to the Prime Minister. Prime Minister and the Minister for Indigenous Affairs recently met with me, and I'm very grateful for that, to discuss the unprecedented and tragic levels of sexual abuse of children in Alice Springs and elsewhere in the Northern Territory.
Well, when Peter Dutton said that in Alice Springs at the time, what's he basing that on then?
I have no idea, and Peter Dutton makes all sorts of claims.
You're suggesting that Peter Dutton made that fact up?
Well, I don't regard it as a fact.
Yes, I should say that assertion. Did Peter Dutton invent that assertion?
Well, I have no idea of what it is based upon.
Give the call to the Prime Minister.
I thank the member for his question, the Leader of the Opposition. I also thank him for the constructive engagement that we had in my office with the Minister for Indigenous Affairs about what is very serious issues.
So he does know about it, but he just said on the TV, on the ABC, no, he didn't, or I don't know if it's Sky News, ABC, they're all in there. Yeah. So he just said he does know about it. He just lied, straight out. That's what they do. Justin Theory said, do outdoor holograms only work on cloudy days? Asking for a friend. Check this out. If you don't believe that they can... Whoa, that was loud. Sorry, guys. If you don't believe they can put holograms in the sky, they can make anything they want appear in the sky. Aliens, probably Jesus. I just heard something go, I think it was my phone. I hope no one's trying to give me a message that I can't see. Baron of Burleigh said, hey, this is the number of registered Aboriginal corporations on the government purse 991 in Northern Territory, 956 in New South Wales, 1,215, this is Aboriginal corporations in WA, 1,213 in Queensland, 50 in the ACT, 193 in South Australia, 195 in Victoria and 33 in Tasmania, almost 5,000 in total. Not included are ALCs or government bodies, and they want another voice? Where is all this Aboriginals money going to? Because are they actually getting it? Because I don't think they are. If I were Aboriginal, I'd be pretty peed off by now. Baron, the reason the protests of those supporting the yes vote are so obscene is half the damn country's on the Aboriginal gravy train, and they want it in the Constitution so no one can take away their freebies. It's an outrage, and an Australian Liberal Party, Labor Party support it. What the oh my goodness. No more to that? Okay, just checking. Andy No said woke outerwear clothing brand REI announced it's shutting down its flagship Portland store in the Pearl District following surging crime and public safety issues. The retailer supported BLM during the 2020 riots and protests, you know, the mostly peaceful, fiery ones, those ones, and established a BIPOC Advisory Council. I know the last bit is people of colour. What's the BI? Someone can tell me. Truthseeker said they want you drinking alcohol, but not smoking. Okay, listen to this. No, it's not no one's saying you should smoke, okay?
You say in your book that mind control slaves were permitted any drug except marijuana. Why? It's an excellent question. The effects of marijuana on the brain are not conducive to mind control.
It doesn't mean you can't be traumatized and put under mind control. It just means it screws up the programming.
Because it actually opens neuron pathways in the brain. It expands thought. I'm not going to stand here and speak pro-marijuana because...
No, because somebody be putting it in my car and popping me for it.
But I am anti-marijuana because we see all these ads on TV and everything, and even Dole and Clinton in their campaigns are saying, what's it, Dole said, guns, violence, and marijuana, you know, as if it's so violent, because it is not conducive to mind control. They want it off the streets more than they want their drugs, like cocaine, off the street. Marijuana is especially targeted. I don't promote the use of marijuana as a Band-Aid for mind control because, again, knowledge is our only defense against it.
I agree. LT Australia, I think, is that Kathy O'Brien? Hang on. Not 100% sure. But I've seen this lady over the years many, many times. And she's very, very smart lady. LT Australia said another Labor disaster is unfolding. 14,645 Centrelink asylum seeker jet arrivals have claimed refugee status since the incompetent ALBO Labor trash government took office in May last year. It's fairly obvious Labor are now importing their voter base on a grand scale. Fake refugee total soars. In March alone, 1,786 visa holders sought asylum. Because that's what's happening. It's financial. Mag said, this is so sad for me. I lived in Portland for 13 years and remember the city as being one of the most beautiful cities in America. Leftism is a disease. Check this out. Is that really Portland? This is what all major cities are going to turn into. Cities are not good places for anyone. It's too easy to go to commit a crime and go in the city and become anonymous amongst millions of other people. Whereas if you're if you live in the country, everyone knows everyone. And people will know it was you that did the crime, or the person who did the crime, not you. The person who did the crime. And that's also how you solve crime. Dismantle cities. Well, not dismantle them, just leave them. That's really sad to see America in the state that it's in. Mark PG said the voice is now dead. A real Aboriginal warrior in Jacinta Price will bury the Chardonnay sipping inner city fake Aboriginals. Jacinta Price, the lady who's been standing up and saying no to the voice, the Aboriginal lady, has just been accepted in the Liberal Party by Dutton. Undercover brother PhD said Stalin came to power with the help of a disparate, marginalised groups, and then once in power, he ironically reverted back to making their behaviour illegal. He even sent many of them to the gulags. What do these lefties think is going to happen to them? What is the trans people going to think is going to happen to them once they're being used the way they are? They're going to throw them into the gutter like they do with everyone else. Okay, their supposed readiness to do injury to Soviet society inferred on the basis of their social category, social origin, nationality, or group membership. Ironically, Stalin restored many of the characteristics of absolute monarchy in his personal dictatorship and persecution of traditional outgroups of Russian society, Jews, intellectuals, national minorities, and gay people. What makes them... They're just useful idiots. And they're going to be thrown under the bus when they're done, when they finish with them. And that's what people need to realise. The Real Andy Lee Show said, "Did you ever?" and 3 claps for that. A transformer convicted pedo had been watching girls undress in locker room of Canadian pool, claimed it was his human right to access women's spaces. Eva said, "Today I did a journalism." Oh, good on her. Walgo said, sorry. Eva, are you a lady? Because I was... Yes, she is. Not allowed to do that. Not allowed to just assume that it's a lady or a man anymore. Walgo said, "Are you awake yet?" Scott Wiener. Wiener? San Francisco, California. Check him out. One of them, Kamala Harris, supports Senator Scott Wiener, who authorised Bill SB 145, which legalises relations with children if the child consents and is within 10 years age of the person doing the wrong thing to them. Are you awake yet? I think most of us are. I think we know. And it's sickening. Rep Marjorie Taylor Greene, I feel a bit sick right now. The Biden crime family participated in human trafficking by soliciting prostitutes from the United States and abroad in countries like Russia and Ukraine. What I want to know is, were they underage? Because then they're not prostitutes anymore, they're victims, okay? There is an entire crime enterprise wrapped around Joe Biden and his family. GOP oversight has a much bigger investigation to do than ever thought possible. So they're going after them. So whatever has been used against Trump and the others, it's turning around now and going back to them. Red Pillsy Yummy said, "Say goodbye to Hollywood." Oh dear, Jack Nicholson doesn't look too great these days. Jack Nicholson looks unrecognisable after seen for first time in 2 years ahead of his 86, but, well, he's looking all right for 86, sort of. But, you know, it still doesn't... He looks like he just woke up, that's what he looks like. Or he had a heavy night of drinking. Rise Melbourne said, "Australia, the bees part 2, the aftermath." Beekeepers are claiming government officials are destroying hives due to fictitious varroa mite infestation. They're coming for the food. Okay, let's have a look at this one. Let's go to the beginning.
I am up the road from our place, and behind me, all of this are hives. I'm going to show you. 2 nights ago were destroyed. 12th of the 4th, all destroyed. There would have to be at least...
Oh, come on, Twitter.
There would have to be at least 100 hives here. There are bees still all over the place. These are all double-stacked hives. And this is what they did 2 nights ago after they've destroyed our hives. Let's get this out there. There are millions of bees being killed in the name of eradicating varroa mite. There are hundreds of bees still flying around. I don't really know how this is going to work. They've had 10 months to do this. The DPI have been killing bees for the last 10 months, and we are still no better off than what we were 10 months ago when they found this. I will keep you guys up to date. We will do an update on our hives and the story behind it, and I will also share the video of what they did. Stay safe, save the bees. I am up the road from our place, and
so they're attacking the food even further. They're attacking honey now, I bet you. It's got, I bet you it's got nothing to do with mites or whatever they were saying. And part 1 is here. Australia, the insanity continues. Professional hives are being government destroyed. Okay, let's have a look at this one.
Minutes, the DPI showing up, and they're going to pour 250 millilitres of petrol in each one of our hives, or 17 of them.
These are the 2 guys that have come in. I'm assuming that there will...
Australians need to be armed. Seriously. And put no trespassing signs everywhere. So, I'm not going to play the whole thing because it'll upset me as well, especially when I'm feeling a little bit off today. Oh, London said an old TikTok video of Dylan Mulvaney, which appears to have been deleted, lays out his game plan back in 2021. It said that Dylan said, I'm a trans non-binary actor and have trouble finding roles, so my friend wrote me a femme character in a commercial. Do you see it now? He was an actor with no work and desperate for fame and fortune, so he became femme to get famous. It is an act. And this is it. Queerest commercial ever, right? More like this, please. So there you go. Dylan, the actor. He's also not only making fun of women, but he's actually making fun of trans people as well. And if I were trans, I'd be pretty upset about that. They're upset about everything else, so why not? Craig says, why does the logo that Twitter created for government-funded media look like a toilet bowl with the lid up? Is it just a bad design, or is Musk having a laugh? Check it out. It does look like a bit of a toilet bowl. Look, it is a microphone on a table or something with something underneath, but it does look a little bit like a toilet. So you can have a laugh at that. The Authority. Obama was always a puppet. Now let's have a look at this.
I am not asking anybody to take a chance on me. I'm asking you to take a chance on your own aspirations.
I'm not just asking you to take a chance on me. I'm also asking you to take a chance on your own aspirations.
I haven't spent much of my life in politics, which most of you know, but I've spent enough time in Washington to know how much we need to change Washington.
I haven't spent a lot of time learning the ways of Washington, but I've been there long enough to know that the ways of Washington must change.
There you go. He did the same thing that, was it Biden did? I'm sure they all do it. Do you think they all do it? I think they'll probably all do the same thing. They just recycle the speeches. That one was like a year apart, the first one. Yeah. 06, 07. The 3rd of the 6th, 2nd of the 11th. Oh, just over a year. But they recycle them. Jessica Rogers. I don't know how to say that. Okay. Don't need anything with the appeal sticker on it. It just appeared in our grocery stores. Saw it for the first time today. The cucumber's not wrapped in plastic, but there's a big sign that says, coated in appeal to protect freshness and reduce plastic waste. What? The cucumbers also have a sticker on them with the word appeal. I checked the company out and it's funded by the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation and the WF endorses it. I checked their website out. You can't find any information about what exactly is appeal. Look at the frequently asked questions. They even tell you don't buy it if you're worried. In the US, it's avocados, apples, limes, lemons, and cucumbers. The company is very mysterious about what the product actually is, and it can't be washed off no matter how hard you scrub. It even says this on the website FAQ section. Safety data sheet says appeal has its statements. H318 causes serious eye damage. H317 may cause an allergic skin reaction. H412 harmful to aquatic life with long-lasting effects. Precautionary statements P280 wear protective gloves, protective clothing, eye protection, face protection. P302 and P352 if on skin. Wash with plenty of water. Once again, the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, the same people who are buying up all the farmland in the country and trying to sell you on the idea of lab-grown meats, saying, I do think all rich countries should move 100% to 100% synthetic beef, are behind this, and that means it's a no from me. Me too. Yeah, the dangerous chemical Bill Gates is coating your organic produce with. So your organic is not as organic as you think. And it's almost impossible to know even if your organic fruits and veggies are safe. So there you go. You can't even trust buying organic produce anymore thanks to the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, Katy Perry and Oprah. There's a new label on your produce and it's anything but appealing. Appeal is a plant-based protection that helps produce the produce you love stay fresh longer, or in other words, a chemical coating put on your produce which you can't wash off so it doesn't brown or decompose in the normal amount of time. Exactly how old is that apple? Oh, is there a thread here? I personally just saw this at a Lowe's supermarket, but it's being rolled out everywhere, including Whole Foods. Check your produce. Thanks for the warning, Jessica. That's good to know. Ant said, I'm a born-again climate change believer. The voice to Parliament has convinced me global warming is real. In just 200 years, the climate crisis has bleached our Aborigines. If we don't stop global warming by 2030, they'll all be white. Look at them. They're not Aboriginals. She's part Aboriginal. She doesn't really look Aboriginal, and he does not look Aboriginal at all. Wow, yeah, it must be. Must be true. They're turning our Aboriginals white. Look at them. Isaac's Army said, anyone else catch this one on the Tucker Carlson interview the other night? Skinwalkers are all around us. What? Oh, yeah. Okay, Elon, what's going on here? Please tell me. And I'm going to share this and ask Elon. I'm going to tag him in it and say, what's going on here? Are you wearing a mask? You can see that, right? You can see that? It could just be a crease. But I don't know. Is that really Elon? Who knows? I'd like Elon to answer me, though. Respect Australian national something. Nation. National. Okay, let's not worry about the name. Excellent news. Opposition leader Peter Dutton announced a reshuffle of the coalition's front bench, naming Jacinta Price the new Shadow Minister for Indigenous Australians. Go Dutton. Senator Kerry-Ann Little will have the child protection portfolio. Opposition leader Peter Dutton has announced a reshuffle of the coalition. Yep. Good. This is a good start. It needs to go a lot further, but this is a good start. Whether we are from the first peoples of this country, whether we're from those who came on the first fleet and the settlers and migrants that came to this country, we are one Australia. Jacinta Price, Senator for the Northern Territory. Good. She should be on the front bench. And Respect Australia National something, I don't know, can't read the name, said vote no in response to what's this? Found this. Is it wrong? Article 26 of the UN Declaration on the Rights of Indigenous Peoples. 1. Indigenous peoples have the right to the lands, territories and resources which they have traditionally owned, occupied or otherwise used or acquired. Yeah, that's pretty much right. Check it out. Little puppet. Plastic puppet. Article 28 needs to be read with this as well. Reparations, compensation for lands confiscated, taken, occupied, used or damaged without their free, prior and informed consent. Who decides this? How is it challenged? Rudd signed us up to this in 2009. How could he agree to it? Yeah, otherwise they shall take. I'm sure. I know. Compensation shall take the form of lands, territories, and resources equal in quality, size, and legal status, or of monetary compensation or other appropriate redress. They've already started doing this in Australia. There are certain places they have marked for as Aboriginal land, and you're not allowed to go there. Okay, did I do this again? Did I? Yep, must have bookmarked them again. Anything our legal crooks in government come up with, just vote no Australia because their track record is in shambles. Australian black conservative, what a wealth of knowledge, common sense, decency and pro-humanism. That is the great Thomas Sowell. We have reached the ultimate stage of absurdity where some people are held responsible for things that happened before they were born, while other people are not held responsible for what they themselves are doing today. Fully agree. I fully agree. Okay, I think I'm in a thread here. There we go. Stephen Crowder said Prime Minister Blackface is mad. Alex said Justin Trudeau isn't too happy that Twitter labels CBC government-funded media. Oh, is he upset, is he?
I think it says a lot about the Conservative Party of Canada. That they're choosing to constantly attack independent media organizations, journalists who are working hard to keep Canadians informed and support our democracies. CBC Radio-Canada serves right across the country, delivers local news and local content in many regions of the country that, yes, has been challenged over the past years, but the idea of adding to that challenges and laying on by attacking this Canadian institution, attacking the culture and local content that is so important to so many Canadians, really indicates...
Is he going to cry?
The values and the approach that Mr. Poilievre is putting forward. And I think it is telling that in order to attack this institution that is important for many, many Canadians, he runs to American billionaires, the tech giants that they continue to defend in committee and in their approach on our legislation to make tech giants pay their fair share. Conservatives are always there to defend them. So when they're trying to attack a foundational Canadian institution, the fact that he has to run to American billionaires for support to attack Canadians.
Does anyone else think he's worried? He looks a bit worried.
Says a lot about Mr. Poilievre and his...
And what about all the truckers that you went after, mate? God. Larry Cook said, unjabbed versus jabbed. Daughter is 8 years old, no allergies, no skin issues, no asthma, no pneumonia, no flu, no stomach issues, never had diarrhea, no delays, no ADHD, no sensory issues, no behaviour issues. Spoken complete sentences, fully articulating and enunciating words at 2.5 years old. My granddaughter is 5, fully jabbed and has all the above. The difference between night and day. This is what I think happens. If you don't get any jabs, right, you will grow up okay. If you have, you will end up with some kind of problem. And I have been, and my kids have been, and my grandkids have been, so yeah, I just learnt in the last, over 10 years that these things might be a huge problem. Liz Churchill said Hunter Biden has a large tattoo of Finger Lakes, and today in New York, is it New York? 18 people were arrested in connection with a child trafficking a 13-year-old child since she was 6 near Finger Lakes. Where's MSM? They will never report on this. Has he got like a bikini mark or something? I don't know. Is there a thread here? Horsehead, New York. 18 people arrested in connection with a child trafficking The same child that's under 13 for 7 years. So this tells you what age she was when they used and threatening her with a rifle since she was a little child. She was taken to numerous locations. Dear God, please completely erase this little girl's memory of this entire horrific crime. Wow. Craig Kelly said, welcome to Wellcamp, a brilliant 3D animated film which is a reminder of how close we actually came to the dystopian nightmare. If it wasn't for the small percentage of the population that pushed back against the narrative, the freedom fighters, that when mass psychosis was spreading like a plague and madness overcame the nation, that there were some prepared to fight back, often at great personal cost, to thwart the plans of the globalists. I didn't have huge personal costs, but I was nearly arrested. It's also a reminder of why we must hold those that impose the medical tyranny of forced injections and police bashings to account to make sure that nothing close to this can ever happen again. And if you'd like to buy the creator a beer... Oh, there's a PayPal address. Okay, let's have a look. I don't think I can play the music. Or can I? Nope. There comes a point where the music stops, right?
The gold standard of quarantine, separate cabins, on-site testing for no known breaches. But the Queensland Government reckons it can do better.
This is going to be a great boost for our defence against the Delta virus.
What fantastic value it will be.
But we can bus people from Brisbane up here if we...
I think I've got to turn it down again. Not too distant future. This is what you've got to look forward to if the New World Order gets their way, right? See all these drones and stuff? And these little guard cars. And you'll be in one of those buildings, C31, C26, in your own little unit, right? It'll get to that. It's very interesting. I watched this whole thing yesterday. This is what you've got to look forward to if the New World Order, if the WEF get their way. This is what you'll be living in, 15-minute cities. This is what they want. Come on, it gets better than this. Here we go. Yep, the drones come, pick up your garbage. You don't take your garbage out, you don't. I don't know if you even go out. It doesn't show you that bit. Do you get to go out of your own house? Look, there comes a delivery. Get everything delivered. I don't think you'll be going out. Inside you got this little kitchenette thing. I wish I could play it without having to... I've got to hold this thing there, otherwise it jumps. Look, the little man in his bed, right? This is how sad it'll be. Sad and lonely. It's 8 minutes past 11. Mate, you should be up already. Here he goes. He gets up. Yep, nothing to look forward to. Go in, get a cup of tea or coffee, yep. Go outside, stand on the balcony, look around at all the other buildings, because there won't be much greenery. And the drones. And the guards. And the towers. Yep. They know who you are. Social credit. Here you go. People just waving to each other. There you go, mate. World news. What is the world news?
We are bringing to you today's most important news from around the world. Despite all the extraordinary efforts, the government and health system workers are still struggling to bend the curve of growing cases caused by the latest variant of the virus. 5 more people died today and 30 million tested positively. Citizens are now required to wear masks when they step out to the balconies of their isolation facilities and take them off only when they are back to the safety of their rooms.
Stay compliant. Stay isolated. Stay safe.
That is all for today. Stay tuned for tomorrow's news.
Okay, I got to turn it down when the music starts. He's having a dream now of what things used to be like. When you got to get on your four-wheel drive out into the country, to the mountains, because you won't be allowed to do that if they get their way. No hiking. No bushwalking. No freedom. Am I still on? Or have I been taken down yet? Oh, see, the memories of roasting marshmallows over an open fire. You won't get to do that anymore either. No fires for you. Or me. This is what Australia's selling out to by The Voice, mind you. It's pretty bright, that. See, he was dreaming the whole time. Weekly food ration is delivered. You got no say in the matter. You just get a food ration. It'll be just enough to keep you alive, I betcha. Oops. Woke noodles. Oh no. Three different colours of cola. Beyond meat. Oh. Artificial vegetables. Crunchy dry locusts. Go outside with your mask on. Here comes the drone, mate. I wouldn't do that if I were you. Oh dear. Oops, incapacitated him. Is that like a taser type of thing? It's probably saying you need to put your mask on. And you got spot licks. Drag Venture, Snow White and 7 not very tall individuals. Through tears and mockery, hard-won victories of transgender and women's sports. Green Friends. It'll be like that. It does remind me of 1984.
The Godfather movie is banned from our database for misrepresentation and stereotypization of the Italian community. Pulp Fiction movie is banned from our database for excessive violence and racist content.
Oh no.
The movie 1984 never existed.
How lovely is that? For people who didn't know what they were in for, there you go. That's exactly what we're in for. Liz Churchill said the extinction cult, the UN traffics children, the WHO murders people through Bill Gates' jab bioweapons program, the WEF unelected Nazis penetrating our governments, the CDC creates diseases and denies naturopathic treatments, the FBI openly kills people for the communists, and CIA implements regime change in foreign countries on demand. The DOJ's primary purpose is to protect pedos. The DOD creates bioweapons which cause mass genocide with DARPA. NATO organised criminals working for WF bankers to take out world leaders that refuse to comply with Satanism. PETA murders animals and illegally dumps their bodies. The NIH is an illegal drug protection racket that Fauci Democrats profit from. The FDA poisons everything they approve with fraudulent relabelling, and the NWO is an elitist death cult that embraces all of the above with primary objective of destroying all human life after they turn our planet into the live version of the Hunger Games. I cannot stress this enough. We're living in an inversion of reality where those that have serious situational awareness will be the ones that survive. Tell everyone about these bastardized entities and the high priests at WEF that everyone want dead. Yeah. So there you go. Just in case people didn't know what we're up against. Old Soldier said this. Prime Minister Anthony Albanese says, look to New Zealand on how the voice will work. I have, and I don't like what I see. There you go. We were warned by New Zealanders. Matt said Bill Gates, the same guy who secretly met with Jeffrey Epstein dozens of times, has just been exposed for having sent millions to an NGO pushing for grade school kids to learn about sex work and be classified as sexual human beings from birth. Was exposed live for donating $80 million to the International Planned Parenthood Foundation, an NGO trying to push sex and gender classes to children under 10. And I'm not going to play it. I think we know what we need to know from that. Clandestine said, just a reminder, this man sits on the board of Rosemont Seneca, who owns and funds biolab company Metabiota, who were doing gain of function on coronaviruses in Ukraine as part of a 9-year study before C19. The Bidens are involved in this. And here's the hunter with the Finger Lakes tattoo. He likes the Finger Lakes enough to get them tattooed on his back. Has anyone cared to ask why it is Hunter Biden has a notorious child trafficking hotspot tattooed on his back? Yeah, it is old news, but I'm refreshing everyone's memory. Elon Musk said, okay, I did share this for a reason. Oh yeah, he wasn't happy about Justin Trudeau, not happy about being labelled. What's he talking about, and why is it sponsored by Eric's son, says Elon Musk. Amiri King said more than 120 black people shot other black people in Chicago in February alone, and nobody has batted an eye. A black kid was shot by a white man. Now blacks are losing their minds. Shooting blacks is similar to saying the N-word. It's okay as long as you aren't white. That's pretty sad. Yeah, and Chicago's been taken over by teens at the moment. Yeah, it's not looking real good. Jersey said, those masks. Let's have another one. Oh, this one's pretty much more obvious, unless she's got some really weird wrinkles there. That wouldn't be part of her outfit. No. I'm trying to debunk this is a mask. No, it does look very weird. I don't know. This whole thing looks weird. What is this? Why is there some seemingly skin colour going? It must be fur here. But it doesn't look like... That looks like skin underneath and skin on top. So what is this then? Very strange indeedy, if you ask me. Rachel Withers said in 1996 John Howard kicked Pauline Hanson out of the Liberal Party for making racist comments about Indigenous Australians. In 2023, Peter Dutton has appointed Hanson's pick to the Indigenous Affairs portfolio. Really makes you think. Go, Hanson, get on the Labor Party. The Liberal Party, sorry. Get in the Liberal Party. I wonder if they would do that. Who knows? Baron of Burleigh said, whoa, have a look at this list and get peed off big time. List of Aboriginal corporations. I just did read that. Carolina Viper said, this is the bombshell Albo tried to hide, but now it's out and every Australian needs to hear it before voting on The Voice. Well, the real agenda behind the Voice referendum has finally been revealed. An FOIA was requested. Reveals the Voice will enable a treaty which will take a large portion of GDP and rent from all Australians and abolish the flag. This is written by Jacinta Price. It's a modest change. You know how the PM keeps saying that the Voice is a modest change of the Constitution? Well, the real agenda behind his Voice referendum has finally been revealed. A treaty could include a proper say in decision-making, establishment of a truth commission, reparations, a financial settlement such as seeking a percentage of GDP, which I did read the other day, the resolution of land, water and resources issues, recognition of authority and customary law. Direct quote from the secret Voice documents, Australia got a whole country for nothing. They haven't even begun to pay for it. Doesn't that just tell you everything you need to know? But it gets worse, apparently. According to these documents, they want to abolish the Australian flag because the Australian flag symbolises the injustices of colonisation. Wow. Okay, sounds like a bloody big change to me. Just to be super clear, this is how their plan works. They enshrine the divisive voice in the Constitution, and it's there forever. The voice forces Australians into a treaty. The treaty means Australians pay a percentage of the GDP that is a percentage of the entire nation's economy to the voice every year, in other words, to the UN. On top of that, Australians are forced to pay rates, land tax, royalties to the voice, the UN. This is why Albo wants you to think you're voting on a modest change, because when Australians find out the truth, there's no way they support it, let alone enshrine it in their constitution forever. So there you go. Craig Kelly said, Twitter fact check. Clive has no stockpile of that thing he bought. How many years ago? 3 or 4 years ago. Remember, he bought heaps of this. He donated every last tablet to the Morrison regime and they destroyed it. The thing that Clive paid for, donated to Australian people, was purchased overseas and shipped direct to government. Clive, nor any person associated with him, never at any time physically held any stocks of HCQ. There you go, I didn't know that. I remember him buying it. He bought heaps of it. Okay, Elon Musk is asking, where is the manifesto? The Unabomber got his published. And Wokeness said an old white man shoots a trespasser and immediately the media has a motive. Transformer terrorist murders Christian kids and they pretend there's no motive, even though there's literally a manifesto. Where is it? It doesn't fit the agenda, that's why they won't release it. Sorry guys, I got a bad tickle. Oh my goodness. Rukshan Fernando said, so let me get this straight. The same folks that are advocating for the yes vote to give Indigenous Australians a voice are triggered because Jacinta Price, who's Aboriginal, now has a more powerful voice on issues related to Indigenous affairs in her political party. Who exactly are they planning to give a voice to if they win the referendum? A lot of people are questioning this thing, and I think they've failed already. 40 Head said, we tried to warn you, we were called conspiracy theorists and bigots, we were suspended, banned and abandoned. We told you legalising one seemingly inconsequential version of sexual deviancy would lead to legalising another. We predicted over a decade ago, I'm not saying anyone, this person's saying it, I'm not saying that. We predicted over a decade ago, eventually the push would come to legalise pedos. I did say that when they said marriage for gay people. I knew that was leading to this, but yeah. And look at that, we're now seeing an official UN proposal for decriminalising child attacks. But you just had to be progressive, didn't you? You just had to leave tradition. You just had to spurn Christianity. Now men claim the right to pee and shower next to your daughters. Women claim the right to frivolously kill their unborn babies. Some women now demand government aid to mutilate themselves while trying to become men. Corrupt and sometimes even satanic politicians and Hollywood stars have been sexually abusing children for decades, thanks to monsters like Jeffrey Epstein, Ghislaine Maxwell, Alison Mack, and Keith Raniere, trafficking them to locations around the world. Now a global government entity is trying to make those disgusting, horrific crimes legal worldwide. That's what the UN's doing. That's why you don't want the UN in any of your countries, anything. Proud Elephant said new Adam Schiff was just heavily ridiculed and called a scumbag during the NYC Crime House hearing, a well-deserved insult. I think I've already shared that. I don't know. And Planned Parenthood Communications Director commits suicide after police. Oh yeah, I did read these ones. Where's Clinton? This person committed suicide. I don't know. Okay. So how's these comments going? Okay. Menacing Muskrat said, I'm having a super great day transplanting seedlings. That's good. I'm ready to harvest tomatoes. Quite a few of them. I don't know. I'm gonna have to can them. Don't mind my state of dress, guys. It is freezing here and I am not well and I'm sitting in my dressing gown whether anyone likes it or not. Oh, Simone said, that's good. I've been digging today. And Mancy Muskrat said, digging. Luna said, I'm having a great day and 11 years seizure-free this year. Oh, good on you, Luna. And this is going to jump as soon as I try and go down slowly. I'm going to try and just make sure I've said hello to everyone. Hopefully, and not have it jump. Ah, it did. There you go. It jumped. Okay, how far can I get back to? Selena said I caught you. That's how far I got back to. Hey, Kat, how you going? Hey, Selena. Senatron, Danny, D-Lee. Pedos need lots and lots of lead. Yeah, they do. Xenotron said, King, have you seen the Deagle population predictions? Not sure if it's fake. New, but 100 million people in USA by 2025, same reduction in the UK. I've seen that, Xenotron. And for a while there, I thought it was when everyone was going to be sent back home, go back to their own countries, you know? Because the Middle Eastern countries are going to grow and we're going to lose, which I think means a lot of people are going to be moving around. That's what I think. But I know they let it out for a depopulation agenda. That's what their aim was, but I think it's going to turn on them too. Danny said, hey, you know what they say, see abroad to get that booty action? Dealey said, yeah, pedos need lots of lead. Selena said, you know, if someone with money bought several acres and bought Elon Musk's $15,000 house, that would be very economically house the homeless. Kat said, some were children, 10 years old, girls with Hunter. I saw a photo. I've seen some horrible, yep. Kat, I understand. Hey, Teresa, how you going? Hello, crew. I never chat, although this lioness would be gone easy peasy. Danny said, holy smokes. Danny said, Nicholson is 85? Yeah. I actually think he looks all right for his age. Like, doesn't look like an 85-year-old man, but he looks rough around the edges like he always did. Deb said, yes, Kathy, it's no wonder I can't be controlled. King Snowball said, Alex, best source of psilocybin is the Amanita mascara. I mentioned before, when I was at junior school, the teachers took us to the local woods to show them to us. Alex said, I think I'll never forget that Jack Nicholson and Angelica Houston were there the night Roman Polanski... Oh, were they? Was that Jack Nicholson? Ooh, and Angelica Houston. King Snowball said, Alex, just tell us... and tell us just touching them was lethal. All arranged psychological control, keep kids away from their magical properties. Kat said, I love honey, that is horrible. Yeah, I think they're just trying to kill the bees. I don't think there's any mite thing going. They always do this. They said that about the chickens and the cows, you know, like mad cow disease, and the chickens had to be cold because some chicken virus, and who knows? Susie said, Darren, we aren't all at the same level and the younger souls have to stay behind. You can't forcefully wake anyone. It backfires dreadfully. Alex said, I saw that about the bees the other day. That's what made me bookmark it, because you were talking about it, and I thought, I better find out what that's about. So Kat said, weird. Charlotte said, oh no, poor bees. How you going, Charlotte? Alex said, people will realise how messed up the world will be without bees and other vital insects. Only it will be too late by then. Darren said, I know, Susie, but then we shouldn't wait for them to wake up. Charlotte said, Angelica Houston got her calm as she looks monstrous now. Really? Good. Alex said, hey, Kat, Selena, Teresa. And Charlotte said, Australians need machetes and no trespassing signs. Yeah, I think we need to be armed and no trespassing signs. And if anyone does try and come up for your bees, you know, pachoo, pachoo. I don't know what the answer is. I wouldn't want to hurt anyone, you know what I mean? But I wouldn't want anyone coming after my animals. I would be frothing at the mouth. Angry, that means. In Australia, if you've got the shits, right, you're not going to the bathroom, you're cranky, you're angry. If you're frothing, you're angry. There's a few other words, but I can't remember them right now. Spewing. If you're spewing, you're angry. You're not actually vomiting or anything, you're just angry. Or spitting chips. Darren said, I guess they did warn us they were killing the bees when the news said the bees were disappearing without any explanation. Yes. Charlotte said, people are taught to hate insects. Yeah, I just don't want to eat them. King Snuggle said, Xenotron, the Deagle stuff is true. It was supplied by military projection service type data providers. Dealey said, yesterday my yard was full of bees feeding on the sweet nectar of dandelions. Yeah, we get a lot of bees around here with native flowers and things, so... Charlotte said, Dylan can suck... Sorry, y'all, no offence, but he pees me off. I understand, Charlotte. Oh. But he's making fun. I don't see how the trans community can't see he's making fun of them too, because he's not really trans. He's not transitioning into anything. He's just acting. Deb said 9:08 Adelaide and looking like it's about to get moist. Well, it is very moist here in the mountains west of Sydney. Charlotte said, yay, Dealey. Darren said, the toilet bowl looks like it's being flushed. Kat said, saw it, Obama. Alex said, yeah, it's crazy how much the world has been lied to about everything. If everyone took 1G, psilocybin depression would be gone, along with the load of other negative feelings. Huh, never heard of that one. I must have it naturally. I don't know, I was like 20 years ago, I was depressed as depressed could be. And I don't know, I just got myself through it. Took 20 years, but hey, better late than never. Xenotron said Elon bought in a sink when he bought Twitter. Yeah, he did. King Snurgle said Xenotron USA down from over 300 mil to 100 mil, UK from 65 mil down to 15. Pretty much their initial aims, I'm betting. I really do think, sorry guys, my nose is blocking the more time that goes on. It came on pretty strong last night. I was doing all right. I thought I was, when I scheduled this live, I thought, no, I'm right, we'll be right. Then I woke up this morning, I'm like, oh, okay, it's getting worse. And I was babysitting my grandkids. Was it last week or the week before? They were sick. And so I should have known. But I've been taking a lot of vitamin C. And I'm still getting it. So if it's going to hit, it's going to hit. There's nothing I can do about it. And they're all still sick, so I haven't been babysitting. And so that's why I was able to come live today. Because I was supposed to babysit, but my daughter rang me and said, we're still sick. And I said, don't worry, I am too. Ah, dear. I'll get over it. King Snurgle said, oh, yeah, I read that one. Danny said, smofo butter laying me to the bone, jacking me up tight, me. Xenotron said, King, it put a chill inside me when I read it. I downloaded the PDF, but thank you for confirming its validity. Darren said, professional plagiarism ends any other career. Doctorates are taken away too. Good. Yeah, plagiarism. That's what Obama was doing. Plagiarizing. Alex said, I don't think these natural medicines should be abused. People should use them wisely. Yeah, exactly. Susie said, the time's coming soon when the pain and suffering these people inflict on us will be turned on them and they'll feel every bit of what they've been doing 100-fold. That's what I think is going to happen very shortly, Susie, honestly. Dealey said, Charlotte, yes, I was very happy. That must have been hundreds of bees. Excellent. And Deb said, hey, Charlotte, 100% agree. Kat said, Kamala stole someone's line too, wanting freedom. Darren said, but King, by then there will be 15 million illegals here. That's what I think is going to happen. I really do. I mean, the Deagle was meant probably for depopulation. I think it's going to come true in a different way. I think a lot of people who've come over illegally who aren't maybe the best type of citizens, because, you know, they send a lot of bad ones, you know. I think countries will be cleared out. I really do. So it's going to work another way on them. Susie said, watching bees drink water is so cute. Oh, I don't think I've ever seen them. King Snurgle said, Susie, laws on karma do that automatically. All other beings live by those rules. Xenotron said, I saw an ad with Meryl Streep in the 80s saying you have to scrub your veggies with a brush before eating. Yeah, well, this stuff, it won't even come off, I don't think, with a brush. Kat said, crimes against humanity. Alex said, I'll look into that. I've done lots of research in the past about, what is it? Psilocybin. Xenotron said, leave us alone. Yeah, there's two types of people in this world. There are the people who just want to be left alone, which is most of us. And there's the people that won't leave us alone, and that is these progressive lefties and the governments and corporations and you name it, the UN. Kat said, rinse with baking soda and water, so they say. And Kat said, yikes. Charlotte said, I can't wait, Susie. Yes, I can't wait. I think it's turning now, like in a big way, but it'll take a little while to see. Deb said, bees are a major part of food production. Susie said, Snurgles, then why have they gotten away with this depraved shit for millennia? Darren said, preservatives are never the best option, but if Gates is involved, stay right away from that one. King Snurgle said, Darren, that'll be the 15 mil they intend to keep then. Zentron said, I think you can use the microdose, but only once a week. You can take more, but it does not have any further effect. Haven't tried, been told. Alex said, I heard that most shop apples are something like 1 year old. I've heard that too, Alex. Have they been putting it on... Is that what the wax on the apples is? I've heard that too. Luna said, and that's why I want to grow my own food. Kat said, saw it, fake Elon. King Snurgle said, Darren, every other Brit looks like they're in big trouble. The 100 mil in USA will arrive over the border. Charlotte said, baking soda is awesome for so much. It is, for cleaning a lot of things. Darren said, the scar on Elon's neck is from an operation. Thank you, Darren. Thank you. So it may not be a mask. It may be an operation. But I'd say the other one was a mask. Deb said, I agree, Dylan is mocking everyone. I think so. Kat said, yes, Charlotte. And Alex said, probably had another facelift, Elon. Charlotte said, not real, Elon. Well, if he's had an operation on his neck and it's a scar, then it could be. I'll leave it up to you guys to decide for yourselves. How's that? Sound good? Xenotron said, unwaxed apples are available at the markets in Brisbane. Good. Well, that's the start, because I haven't seen unwaxed apples for a long time. Susie said, it's coming, Charlotte. Get your popcorn. Deb said, plagiarism. Dealey said, Musk also said in an interview that artificial intelligence is summoning a demon. I hope he's on our side, because I do agree when he does good things, like Elon. I really do. Danny said, Darren, that 15 million is in addition to already 22 million already here. President Trump said he'll come and find every illegal, remove them. I know that when he's re-elected, he will do it. Deb said, I have a dream. Charlotte said, oh, Darren Booker, a scar, that makes sense. King Snurgle said, Darren, probably a DIY brain implant he tried on himself as a kid would explain his stuttering conversation technique. Oh, dear. I actually am starting to like Elon. I've been very wary of it. I still am, but I'm starting to like. I think he has a good kind of sense of humour in a way. Charlotte said, I'm really looking for the finale. Soon, please, God. Yeah, I know. I think it will, because they're still doing all the hearings about selections. I think it's going to happen before 24. Maybe it's wishful thinking, seriously, but I do think it's going to happen before then. They're going to find out. Deb said, yes, they all do at speeches. Darren said, Charlie's coronation food is so fitting for him, a sloppy vegetable quiche. Dealey said, Charlotte, me too. Deb said, coating food with chemicals. Kat said, the old world, we don't know the real history. His story lied. Yep. Danny said, me too, Charlotte. Yep, you're not the only one, Charlotte. There's a whole lot of us that can't wait for that real big turning. Darren said, all I know is some of these actors will get awards. Susie said, Snurgles, is the ego an implant and is it found in the reptilian part of the brain? Charlotte said, thank God for smoke. I keep getting a tickle in my throat. I might have to wrap this up soon, guys, but Deb said, no, you can't use food skin. Xenotron said, read up on the fraud that was the treaty made with Nyunga tribe in South WA, a complete sellout of the First Peoples. No, really? Deb said, me too, no. Xenotron said, well, actually, all Australians, a betrayal for everyone. Yeah, they've been selling us out to the UN for years. Bit by little bit. King Snurgle said, humans do not have a reptilian part of the brain. That is all mind control, suggestion, BS. Kat said, they're going down. They are. You can see it happening. The media, the government, the media are starting to have people on that they wouldn't normally agree with. And they're getting called out on national TV and everyone's watching it. So I really do think that things are turning and something they're gonna get desperate now. So something's gonna happen. And there's going to be more probably violence in Chicago, probably more transformers protesting and stuff like that, maybe getting angry. I don't know. Darren said, a scar on the back of the neck is more alarming. Surgery through the brainstem is not a good idea. Yes, I've heard that too, Darren. Kat said, Rebel News Canada is good at, and they are censored. Danny said, I saw an article yesterday on UK essentially misusing the non-GMO badge on foods there. Wow. Danny said, frackin' Trudeau, we know when they say democracy, they refer to their evil cabal. Yeah, they're talking about themselves when they mention democracy. Deb said, bleach. Kat says, CGI to me here with Trudeau. Darren said, King, only reptiles would find bugs tasty, though. Alex said, I believe God gave us natural medicine and plants to completely heal ourselves, but people ended up abusing them, and Big Pharma stole their properties to make synthetic versions, Charlotte. Yeah. King Snurgle said, I hate that twat his father, Pierre, arranged a kidnap attempt on me when I was 3.5 years old. Totally satanic ritual, cannibal blood drinking family. Kat said, sounds correct. My son has problems and my daughter ADD. Yeah, I do too, Kat. Regret those vaccines at birth and after. I know. I started falling off the schedule after my son had a fit when he had the 18-month one, the MMR, I think. And he started it was hours later or maybe a day later. He started convulsing. His temperature went up. He had a temperature convulsion. I don't know what they're called. But from high temperature, he started convulsing. It was pretty bad. Scared the shit out of me. Darren said, and after that, wasn't keeping up with the vaccines. So I kind of woke up halfway through my own children. Which is 30 years ago. Okay. I might have been a little bit awake before I thought I was. Darren said kids' problems begin during pregnancy with the prescribed supplements and anti-sickness drugs. I didn't take any of them and I was sick as a dog the whole way through. The whole way through my first pregnancy, I couldn't stop throwing up. All the way. King Snurgle said Pierre Trudeau was one of Canada's highest Masonic priests, a black family they get called. Dealey said, Alex, yes, God gave us everything we need. Alex said there was a woman who did a test unknowingly on her children. The ones that got jabbed at all had disability of some kind. The ones that weren't jabbed didn't. They're poison, yep. Kat said, you're not supposed to cut the cord. I just found this out. Sorry, guys. I've got to keep my cup of tea hot or it doesn't soothe my throat at all. Oh dear. My eyes are watering because I have a tickle in my throat. It's all going really well. Sandertron said when they say we, they mean them. When they say our, it means theirs. They just talk to themselves and we think they mean us. Shannon said waiting. What are you waiting for, Shannon? Xenotron said, Kat, the whole birthing process is evil. Danny said, my last inoculation was 1987, but I had them all up to that point. Darren said, Kat, also the people that eat the... Sorry, I shouldn't be sniffing into the microphone. All the people that eat the placentas are cannibals. Oh. Delay said, Kat, I found out they sell the cut cord. Really? Oh. Kat said, sick, inhumane. Yeah, I heard that. I actually heard you shouldn't cut the cord straight away either, because it continues to give the baby the antibodies that the baby needs after it's been born. Max said it was a huge triumph for them. And Alex said, hey, Mac. I agree, makes my blood boil. Shannon said, that didn't age well. Sandertron said, what they do to the mother and baby or everything they do not do is more like it. Kat said they probably sell stem cells, yep, from the umbilical cord. Max said all of humanity played along. Xenotron said nowhere to escape those drones and robo-dogs. Alex said, look at the Dalai Lama, not heard anything more about it. It'll get covered up like every other rich pedo, and there are plenty of them. Yep, I agree. Kat said, prison, how nice. King Snuggle said it is worse than that. The reptilians have already sold humanity to another species to be ground up and frozen like mincemeat. Charlotte said, I watched that video. It scared the crap out of me. I don't want to live like that. I'd rather be dead. Yep. That's why if they did get that far, which I don't think they will, but if they did, I'd be running. I don't care. They can catch me out there and they'd have to kill me. Darius said in New York City they're selling the idea of drones with weak robot legs. When they pass it legally, the real ones get rolled out. Max says, guys, who remembers the Dalai Lama story played out in 2018 already? Because I do in 2019, 18 sometime. Yes, I do remember things about the Dalai Lama coming out back then, yep. Alex said, I try and always go out to the shops to keep them open. Yes, I try and do that too, as much as I can. Get to the shops. And keep the small, like the people in this area, they're all private owners. They have small shops, and some of them are little supermarkets. And sometimes when I need things, I'm going to go up there just to... I mean, it would be cheaper for me to drive 15 minutes away to go to a big supermarket, but I like to give them the money. It might be a little bit more expensive for me, but I'd prefer to keep it in the area, you know. Help the people who own their own businesses keep their businesses, like the butcher and the baker and the candlestick maker, no. And the fruit shop and the little supermarket up the road. Okay, Shannon said huge hands from chronic... Shannon. Max said, which bunk do the guards sleep in? Dealey said, agree, Charlotte, that's not living at all. Alex said, I don't remember a story as such, but I've seen him in plenty of pictures doing all sorts of satanic stuff with other pedos. Danny said, cutters say he can't hang. Cutters say he can't hang. Cena said, Darren, I had the hugest fight with someone who was justifying eating the placenta. King Snurgle said, Shannon, is that your doctor's latest diagnosis? What does he propose as a remedy? Amputation? Alex said, stay away from me. Xenotron said, I could not believe how hard I had to work to change their mind, and I still didn't. Heartbreaking what people think is okay. Shannon said he's driving on the wrong side of the road. And Max said, yeah, I really think that happened earlier and they're digging out old stories for some reason. Susie said, I don't think Pierre Trudeau was even French. I think he's a Zionist Jew, and Margaret is a Sinclair. She was 19, he was 52 when they met. Total lavender marriage, yuck. Yeah, Alex said, I'll never comply. Kat said, that sounds good. Randy said, universal non-compliance, exactly. Dara said, I know, Zena, it's an upper-class delicacy. Danny said, oh, stewardess, I speak jive. Roasted marshmallows, says Kat. Airplane. Max says, they are destroying beehives in Australia, yes. King Snurgle said, Shannon, is that the latest code for a trans women's bloke thingy? Danny said, just hang loose. Blood, she's going to catch you up on the rebound on the med side. Deb said, Trudeau looks like a Thunderbird's puppet. Definitely. Alex said they've been destroying bee populations for decades. They have. Charlotte said, F the elite. I agree. Alex said, all over the world. Charlotte said, we shall remain free. Yes, God wins. Don't worry, okay? They're not going to win. No matter how much it looks like they are. And don't forget, The Art of War by Sun Tzu does say, make it look like you're losing when you're actually winning. So anytime you think that we are losing, that's just how it seems. Kat said, we're such a great movie. Susie said he looks like a... Danny said, funniest thing I've ever seen, Kat. Xenotron said, the cord should stay intact until it stops pulsing. The transition has then completed. Any point before that creates a disturbance that is blueprinted. There you go. Danny said, Kat, 14, of course. I was only 13 at the time. King Snurgle says, Susie, there's a whole bunch of fakers claim to be Sinclairs. Sinclairs, they weren't. It just acknowledges the oldest European noble name, so they claim to come from it. Charlotte said, don't think in the way the video shows. Pray against this and visualise a better life. Definitely. Danny said, what it is, Big Mama, my mama. Are you doing a song there, Danny? Susie said, he totally looks like a Thunderbird's puppet, Deb. Kat said, I like the drinking problem. Shannon said, Snow White sat on Pinocchio's... Shannon! For goodness sake. King Snurgle said, Susie also is the Sinclair name used in the Da Vinci Code to push their BS claims. Alex said everyone should buy a bag of wildflower seeds and throw a few about everywhere they go. I have a bag of seeds and plan to do that this year. Deb said, Shannon, laughing. Kat said, FDA has to end to be arrested, in my opinion. Sherry said, good idea, Alex. Charlotte said, yes, everyone throws seeds everywhere. Yeah, it's a good idea. Darren said, shut up, Pinocchio. Xenotron said, Charlotte, they have shown us their fantasy. We have something to work against instead of the great unknown. Charlotte said, get your seeds. I've got heaps of seeds. Now, Dealey said, I do that every year, Alex. Charlotte says, save your seeds from fruit and veggies, definitely. Danny said, Kat, cut me some slack. Jack, chump don't want no help. Chump don't get the help. Deb said it was a prison. King Snurgle said, Shannon, Snow White's... Oh, okay, I'm not going to... I'm not getting into that conversation there. Alex said, airplane never gets old, Kat. Sherry said, I save my seeds every year for my garden. Charlotte said, yes, let us work our asses off against these awful POSs, yes. Kat said, Gates is supposedly dead since 2013. Yeah, I want to see it. Shannon said, Dealey said, Kat, his wife too. Shannon, I can't read any of your comments if you keep doing that. Kat said, with all the filth in this world, Instagram thinks me typing tranny is hate speech. Yep. Danny said, jive ass, dude, don't got no brains anyhow. Shit. Alex said, awesome, Sherry, we need to be a few steps ahead of these monsters. Deb said, Black Mirror, yes. Kat said, deceased, we hope. Max said, it's just all so sick, and straight away the blame. Cannabis again for hold on violence, yeah. When you smoke, honestly, I don't think the last thing you want to do is violence. But if you mix stuff with it, like alcohol even, that can send you off. Well, I've seen it. Kat said they want you to see the mask. Max said, ask any dopehead if he feels like getting off the settee. Exactly, they don't want violence. Believe me. Kat said, same with Biden. Deb said, safety of the room. Alex said, calm down, get a hold of yourself. Danny said, I do not question the reality of a 17th letter. There have been many, many confirmations. Yes, Exhibit 1, President Trump repeating tippity-top. Or whatever it was, after a request from the board. Yep. Darren said, lol, cannabis and violence is as likely as jam and onion sandwiches. I know. On its own, no way. No way. If you mix out, I've seen people mix alcohol and then go off. Darren said, lol, cannabis and violence is like... Oh, I read that. Kat said, number 17 is real. Yep. Alex said, maybe Camilla and Charlie have swapped skin suits. MJ said, hey, everyone, how late am I? How you going, MJ? Danny said, it's real. We're destroying the deep state. The masks are real. We're defeating them. Oh, my nose is going to start. Hang on. I've got to get a new tissue and I've got to blow my nose. I'm going to turn around away from you so you don't... So you don't have to see or hear it. Oh, my ears are crackling. My ears. My ears are crackling. That's weird. Okay. Kat said Vice was bagging on Q, defending pedo Bob Saget. Yeah. Yeah, Bob Saget from Full House. Dirty man. Darren said Trump released another set of Trump cards. Yeah, I heard that. D-Lee said, hey, MJ, an hour. Sherry said, Camilla looks like a dude. Dude looks like a lady. Darren said, no, Alex Charles turned into her tampon. Oh dear. Max said they sent convicts and poor people to the colonies to establish their dominion. Okay, I'm going to try and go through the comments and find the good ones to read. Not that they aren't all good, believe me, please. I'm just a bit unwell and I need to hurry up. Darren said they sold out straight away. Danny always find out too late. Sue, how you going? The Voice is another new world order cause the globalists have failed. They're trying to get in anyway. They're desperate. And when they're desperate, they're going to do something bigger. Okay? So just keep your eyes open. No fear, okay? At all. Because even, you know, the holograms in the sky, they could even missiles. I'm just saying, I don't know. Darren said, not my fault, Alex, it was Charlie who wanted it. Susie said, you're not allowed to say that. People are dead like... They are the term living challenged, yes. Oh, the chat just jumped in a big way. Okay, I'll start from about here. Flag bearer said, how you going, flag bearer? When Jesus gave our Father, our kings be trusted servants. Sinclair is one of the 13 families, said Muskrat. Alex, I haven't forgotten when his laptop with frazzle drip, Hillary and humour. Wasn't it named under insurance because he wanted to bribe them, flag bearer? Yes, that was WikiLeaks who actually released that. Xenotron said people were freaking out about it, but Rockstar's got away with everything. I've heard of parties on farms that they've been to where people were being hunted and taken out and all sorts of things. Darren said they all used to date 13-year-olds back then. It was public knowledge, yet people ignored it. Alex said, I think loads of the FBI saw the video have now died, maybe suicided. Oh, the New York police, I know that a lot of them were suicided. Dealey said, yep, Steve and Tyler too. Shannon said, $1,006.40 later, I now have 2 new pairs of glasses and a pair of prescription Oakley sunglasses. Wow. Deb said, "You're killing me, Shannon." Zena said, "I understand why no one steps forward. It must be terrifying to have stumbled upon the truth when they work with you." Yep. King Snurgle said, "Menacing Muskrat Sinclair, spelt that way, just means any clan member. Real Sinclairs only ever use that name. That's why they use Sinclair. It's a false family name for them." Alex said, "These pedos are everywhere and they always get protected. Xenotron, hopefully not for long." Xenotron said, "And they know your family and you don't know who they know." D. Lee said, "Alex, all that's seen the laptop are now deceased." Flagbearer said, "Vault 7 outlined I bring us to the Matrix." Susie said, "They might sell farmers at the farmers these days, Darren. I've never noticed. Too busy buying pies, jams, veggies and candles." Flagbearer said, "Hey." Danny said, "Alcohol, that's why they're called spirits. Alcohol is..." Yeah, that's what I wondered a long time ago. I started thinking, why did they call the stronger alcohol spirits? Kat said, "I've witnessed attempted murder." Oh, really? Menacing Muskrat said, "Open this link and scroll down the PDF and go to the list of convictions and executions." Oh, yeah? MJ said, "Susie, what kind of pie?" Flagbearer said, "God bless you, Hachu." Deb said, "I hope you can't watch... Okay, I hope we can't catch what you have. No, not unless we had some sort of weird technology." Okay, this keeps drinking. The chat keeps jumping. Okay. Alex said, "It was Bill Wyman and she was called Mandy Smith. He said she was a woman at 13. No, mate, she's a child and you're a pedo." Yeah. Xenotron said, "People who are going to go off whether they have alcohol or alcohol and pot is a null factor. More likely to happen without the pot though." Yeah, I agree. MJ said, "Allergies and headaches here last week was bad." Kat said, "Spirits can get inside you, in my opinion, if you're really drunk." Xenotron said, "That's it, Bill Wyman, thank you." Max said, "MJ, same here. It never gets me usually, but the chemtrail's been bad here lately." Darren said, "I've had allergies for only a few years, after 40 years without problems." Kat said, "Life insurance." D-Lee said, "Xena wasn't Bill the drummer." Xenotron said, "Why do you think they call alcohol spirits? It's in the bottle, then it gets inside." Xenotron said, "Your body and manifests." Menacing Muskrat said, "Pig farms." That's where I heard of the concerts going on where they hunt and take people out. King Snurgle said, "Cat 14, very likely, but they can get into most without them even knowing it. Be gone again without them even realising." Susie said, "Snurgle, these Sinclairs are Scottish as they come, but I guess they could have been faked in the old country hundreds of years ago." Xenotron said, "Never really got into the Rolling Stones." Yeah, I didn't really like them that much. MJ said, "Alcohol opens you up." Yep. Mac says, "Darren, yes, not good. I really think it's the chems doing it." Deb said, "Chicken soup, garlic, onion, etc. can help with colds." Oh, good idea, actually. I've got heaps of chicken. I might get some out and make a chicken soup. Rutchkin, how you going? Kat said, 10 out of 11 of them, I think, Frazzle Drip. And Alex, thank you for putting that. I'm going to pin that. Can I pin it? No. Okay, hang on a sec. I was going to pin the other channel things. Oh, it's already gone past it, has it? Hang on. No, I've got it here. Pin. Where is pin? I'll replace my pinned message with that one. Yep. There you go. Okay. What am I... Which screen am I looking at now? Okay. Oh, shit, it jumped again. Okay. Darren said, yes, chems in the air, food and water. Max said, just be aware they're trying another stunt soon. That's what I think's going to happen. Something big. MJ said, hey, Deb didn't see ya. Cat's already executed Killary. Max said they can always spray us with God knows what. Flag said, Russell J. Gould, 1999, third bankruptcy. Alex said, yes, how convenient for them, Cat. Darren said, I can't breathe near rapeseed. What is it, grapeseed or rapeseed fields? But there are so many now. Grow wheat and stop worrying about biofuel. Yeah. Susie said, $1,000 for frames is a lot, Shannon, especially since all the frames are made in the same factory. King Snurgle said, Susie, even a waif and stray picked up by the clan should be called Sinclair. It's only allowed to be used by the proven bloodline. Had to have mine proven. Flag bearer says, because we bring in spirits. Max says, Darren, monoculture, yes, it's awful. Deb said, you poor thing, Hev, I'll be right. It's not that bad. Like, it's getting worse, but it's not that bad yet, touch wood. Hopefully it doesn't get too bad. I'm still taking a lot of vitamin C. Dealey said, Darren and Mac agreed. The chemtrailing doing it a lot lately with more people suddenly developing allergies. Max said, try and eat local honey. Oh, definitely, we get local honey around here. So Susie said, bumbleberry and apple pie. Oh, Darren said, that's good, Mac, but they're killing the bees. And Susie said, apple and rhubarb pie. Oh, rhubarb and apple pie. Oh, my mum used to make that, and it was lovely. King Snowball said, I knew Hev would sneeze, jump all over the best jokes. Oh, it keeps jumping. I've gone back to where I was. Dealey said, flag bearer, I know Jay Gould too. Flag bearer said, McCord air-based in Whidbey. What is it? Pint Sky? NE? Max said, I ordered 3 kilograms of raw honey. It's almost gone less than 2 weeks, and lol, 1 kilogram that is. Deb said, I think chemtrails are to help with Blue Beam. Yeah, the holograms. MJ said, I love pie. Strawberry rhubarb favourite. Ooh. Darren said, actually, rhubarb, anything is delicious. Flag bearer said, paint. Sherry said, I get my honey from the Amish. It's raw honey, very good stuff. Menacing Muskrat said, not your chickens, Heaven sent. No, my chickens are good. No, my chickens are good. MJ said, Amish, all good stuff, fresh, no crap added. Susie said, almost. Also, lemon buttermilk is another great pie. Ooh. I'm going to get hungry again. King Snurgle said, Darren, rhubarb flavoured. Oh, hemorrhoid cream? No, not quite. Things you can eat. But rhubarb and apple pie, my mum used to make it. I love rhubarb and apple pie. Sherry said, I love rhubarb strawberry pie, so delicious. Oh, I'm going to have to try. MJ said, lemon buttermilk sounds amazing. Xenotron said, Hev, if you have some 5 Spice, put some in your chicken soup. Okay, cool. Yep, I do. Is that the same as allspice? Hang on. Chinese 5 Spice might not be like allspice. Alex said, I found out some really amazing stuff about chickens. They're apparently more intelligent than a 4-year-old child. That doesn't surprise me. April 23, something's going down, says Menacing Muskrat. Darren said, you got me there, King. Okay, sometimes rhubarb is not so good. Lisa said, good evening, Lisa. Xenotron said, rhubarb leaves are poisonous. You can eat the red bits, though, yes. I hear the postman. Darren said that's down to state of education, Alex. Shannon said frames cheap, lenses are what cost. Flag bearer said Seth Rich is not a Russian, he leaked Democrat. Yeah, he's not Russian, no. MJ said, hello, Lisa. And hey, MJ, how you doing? Menacing Muskrat said, yum, chicken soup and garlic. Danny said, heaven sent, go, friend, rest, recuperate, we love you, thanks for being here. Yeah, well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take tomorrow off. I'm going to rest Friday, and then I'll be back on Saturday or Friday night, your normal, our normal time to meet. Alex said they have the ability to recall and learn from the past events, dreams, empathise with others, even do maths. King Snurgle said, Darren, particularly if it's being used in situ for its intended purpose. D-Lee said, I know a lady in Memphis who makes honey in small batches. So good. My favourite is cinnamon honey and hot honey. Ooh. I've never heard of those honeys before. Mmm. Okay, where am I up to? MJ said, I eat pickled garlic and turmeric ginger tea. Oh, I've got ginger. I can make ginger tea. Max said, I'm so grateful for these chats. Yeah, me too, guys. Honestly, I appreciate you guys being here. Thank you for joining me, and thanks to the members and everyone who just listens. Shannon said, and prescription Oakley's was the real kill, but since I don't use contacts anymore, I can't use regular sunnies. Max says, it's the only place I can hang out with like minds. Yes. Flagbearer said, paint the sky. MJ said, oh, you sweet. Yep, I feel the same. Darren said, rhubarb is also fast growing compared to other fruits. I'm going to have to get some rhubarb. Alex said, chickens are also incredibly affectionate. They follow you around. They may even bring gifts to you if they're happy. Oh, mine are so cute. I try to let them free range, but the turkey's around a lot and he attacks them, so I can't always do it. But when I do, I go out there and I babysit my chickens as well. I have to stand out there for 2 hours to let them roam so that the turkey doesn't hurt them. I think he's trying to mate with one of them. He's a bit confused. Chickens are more sensitive and empathetic than you might think. They can remember you better than any human. Menacing Muskrat said, how many eggs are you getting, Heaven Sent? It depends. I'm getting 2 to 4 a day. Oh, sorry, between 2 and 5. But because coming into winter, I think they're slowing down now. So it's more likely the 2, 3 sometimes. Shannon said driving again. Alex said makes me want to eat. I wouldn't eat my chickens, no way. They're egg-laying chickens. You get different ones if you want to eat them. Deb said, while the chickens are laying eggs, they're safe from the pot. MJ said, Alex, I want chickens so bad. Gotta get out of the city though. Yep. Flagbearer said pecan pie. I haven't had one of them. Menacing Muskrat says, horses have very unique brains. D-Lee said, we're glad to have you here, Mac. Xenotron said, chat's nearing an end. We are all starting to talk about food. So funny, our family. MJ said, you always make... I'm really hungry when I jump off these live streams. MJ said, horses are amazing. They led a cure to cancer I've heard. Really? Xenotron said, no, allspice is sweet. Okay, so it is Chinese 5-spice. Right, I'll remember that. Deb said, it's the time of year when things get blown up. Alex said, I wish I had a proper garden, MJ. I'd love to have my own veggie patch and chickens. Xenotron said, Deb, isn't that every day these days? Max said, D-Lee with hugs and a heart. Flagbearer said, stay away from the computer visors. Deb said, I love pecan pie. You know what I should have got? I should have got the orange tinge, you know, the blue light filter on the glasses. That's what I should have got. But I didn't. Oh, well. Deb said, I love pecan pie. Nicey Glover, how you going? Me too. MJ said, hot honey, yum. Zentron said, why, Flag? Alex said, I love cinnamon. I do too. Cinnamon on apple pie. Oh. Deb said, it's just listening classed as voyeurism. King Snurgle said, Deb, Shannon blows up a different doll nightly. He doesn't need to wait for any particular season. What are you guys on about? Susie said, echinacea honey is great for when you're sick, gets you on the mend fast. Yeah, I keep hearing about echinacea, actually. Nancy Muskrat said, love you all, much muskrat love. Flagbearer said, my gold Akita, her name is Honey. Aww. And Deb's laughing at King. MJ said, yes, Hev, grow rhubarb. Easy. Oh, I'm going to go look for it. Max said, my gander is in love with me. He's lost his ladies to the fox and now he protects me. Oh. Alex said, make honey, lemon and ginger tea. Eat the ginger after. It will help so much, Hev. I could do that. I've got honey, I've got lemon, and I've got ginger. In fact, that's what I'm going to do after this. Danny said, that's so sweet, Alex. Darren said, Hev, rhubarb grows continuously all seasons. When you pick it, put the leaves on the soil around the plant. Cool. Thank you. Good to know. Alex said, naughty turkey, yes. He's a bit confused as to what he is, I think. I think he thinks he's a rooster. Dealey said, Hev, the Memphis honey lady infuses the honey like 24 different flavours. Ginger honey, pumpkin honey, apple. Yum. Oh, we need someone like that here who knows how to make all these different honeys. Alex said, I know. I was so amazed when I read it earlier, Danny. Susan said, key lime pie is a winner all day every... Oh, never had that either. Alex said, we'll have a little turkeys running around before long. Menacing Muskrat said, my horse is into everything. I named her... What is it? George? King Snuggle said, my ability to predict the future has struck again. Told you Hev wouldn't be able to wait to start cooking with one of her chickens today. MJ's laughing at turkeys. Darren said, notice all the food talk is dessert. Ah, Menacing Muskrat, cinnamon toast. Yum. Yum. Alex said, no. Susie said, my favourite honey is Greek wild rose honey. I mean, we get eucalyptus honey. I don't know if it tastes like eucalyptus. I don't know. We get some different honeys, but ones you've mentioned I've never heard of. Menacing Muskrat said, Susie Fraser, that sounds fantastic. Darren said, if the chickens lays eggs, it can live. Alex said, I love it when something cinnamon is baking in the oven, it wafts through the house. Oh, definitely. MJ said, do it, Hev, yep. Deb said, rhubarb leaves you can't eat. Yes. Max said, my grandmother's recipe, boil onion with honey and water to a thick liquid, then drink. Nasty, but it works. Oh, it probably would too. Deb said, peach cobbler. Shannon's talking about blow-up dolls. Alex said, make sure you cover the rhubarb leaves so the turkeys don't eat them, as I think they're poisonous. Not sure if that's just to humans, though. Oh, yeah, I'd put a net over it so they couldn't get to it. Susie said, Muskrat, it's amazing with Greek yogurt, cinnamon and walnuts. Drizzle the honey on top. Flagbearer said, Bill Gates' mother big into pro-choice when she called eugenics through abortion. Deb said, yes, Susie. Menacing Muskrat said, thumbs it up, folks, thank you. Darren said, yes, the leaves are very poisonous, but I've never had any animal try to eat them. They probably know. Do you realise animals have like a sixth sense for these things? They won't go near plants they can't eat. Some of them. Alex said, Shannon. Darren said, except the old slug. The odd slug. Ah, they love it when they're, you know what, when my chickens are free ranging, I've got a compost heap. And it has worms in it because they dig and then they're all fighting over this one worm. So yeah, it's really actually quite funny to watch them. But they're such cute little loving things, they are. They're at the gate running back and forward as soon as I'm out in the backyard. So anyway, and I'll have to get that video up of me putting up the other hutch, the one with the perching area. Anyway, guys, I'm going to leave it at that for today, and I am going to go and eat and then go back to bed because I'm a little bit sick. Okay, guys, have a good one, and I'll talk to you soon. I'll be back on Saturday, Friday night for those in UK and the US. Bye, guys.
I've seen a lot of change, been through a lot of pain. Some things are not the same as they were a year ago, but all will be okay. I move on each and every day. The past is where it stays, way back a year ago. I've changed for the better this time. I thought I would never be fine. I strive just to say I'm alright, and for the first time in a long time I'm alright. I've seen a lot of change, been through a lot of pain. Some things are not the same as they were a year ago, but all will be okay. I move on each and every day. The past is where it stays, way back a year ago. I'm not falling, I'll push all my chips and call all in. I'll bet on myself, you keep stalling. I hear destiny and it's calling. I'll keep my head up high through the downs and lows. And we're all going life, still nobody knows. But I'ma choose what's right and take what comes and goes. And ain't no one in life holding me back no more. I've seen a lot of change, been through a lot of pain. Some things are not the same as they were a year ago, but all will be okay. I move on each and every day. The past is where it stays, way back a year ago. Back a year ago.